So these are the ingredients: pork, ground pork, salt, black pepper, vermicelli noodles, eggs, cilantro, green onion, cabbage, onion, shredded carrots, and these spring roll wrappers and seasoning sauce.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is I soak the noodle with lukewarm water. So you let it soak until it's kind of soft, and then you drain it. So right now it's not ready yet. So we're going to let it sit there for a few minutes.
So.
Okay, so when it's ready, it's kind of soft but still kind of hard. So I'll pour it into the strainer. And then we'll just cut it like this. So when you mix it, it's easier to mix the noodle in with the meat and all the vegetables. So you want it about an inch long. This is just how I do it. It's quicker this way. Still straining the noodle at the same time. And you want the noodle to be thoroughly cut and kind of dry, so when you mix it, it's not so watery. Okay, here, I'll just put it here. So when you're done, just let it strain and just put it back in a bowl or in the sink, doesn't matter, and then just let it drain all the way. Remember, you want it to be dry, because when you mix it, it won't be so wet. For the stuffing or mixture, this is about 2-pound ground pork. Just pour in a big bowl, because I'm making a lot, like 80 to 100, so I use about 2 pounds of ground pork. You can use more if you like. I'm going to be chopping the green onion, so you're going to need about 3 bundle. So this is how I chop my green onion. You want it thin and small. So you're going to need about 3 big bundle of the green onion. And then you just pour it in here. Remember, 3 bundle if you're making for a big party. For the cilantro, you're going to need about 1.5 bundle. I don't usually like the heart stem, so I'll cut it. And I'll just put it on the side here. So I'll just chop it in really thin. Just pour it in the bowl with the meat. And then onion, I like to use about 2 or 1.5, depending on what your liking is. So I cut it in half, slice it thin, and then You're gonna just cut it kind of like in small, tiny cubes. So your goal is to make sure that all your chopping is small and thin, because so when you wrap it, it won't puncture through the egg roll wrapper. Put it in here with everything. Okay, great. So after you chop the cilantro, the green onion, and the big onion, the ground meat is under here. You add about 1/8 cup of salt. So just kind of spread it around. You can put more if you want to be more salty. And you measure the black pepper. It's about 1/8. Also black pepper, you kind of spread it around. And if you need more, you could add more. I had 2 eggs. And just pour it in. And then it's time to mix. So I usually marinate my meat first, so everything can sit in. And then I'll finish chopping everything else and add it in. So this is how I do it. Mix everything, make sure that everything's all mixed in.
What?
Okay, so this is the seasoning sauce that I use to mix in. So I'm going to use about 1/8 of a cup and mix it in with the meat. Pour it in. And then I'm just going to mix it thoroughly. So as you can tell, like, the meat is almost done mixing. I like to marinate first, so afterwards when you mix everything, it's all thoroughly mixed. Okay, so next is I'm gonna pour the carrots. Okay. This is about 1 pound of shredded carrots. I like a lot of carrots in mine. Has a little sweet taste to it. But if you don't like carrots, that's fine too. I usually, after each time when I mix it, I use a new pair of gloves. Okay, so then I'm gonna mix it. I'm just gonna mix it. Okay. So we're gonna let that sit, and then I'm gonna chop the cabbage while that marinates, and then almost done. So while the pork and everything is still marinating, I'm just gonna let it sit here, and then I'm gonna chop the cabbage. So again, you want it thin slice, not so thin, but you know, medium size. I'm just gonna chop it. So I use about a whole cabbage for this mixture, because again, I'm making about 100 egg rolls. But if you're just doing for a small group, you can just use half. I'm done chopping the cabbage, but the cabbage is the last thing that goes in because you don't want to mix all the vegetables together. The cabbage breaks easily, and so you want to do it last. But one thing I forgot to say is before you start, you thaw out the egg roll wrappers. So by the time you're finished prepping, your egg roll wrapper should be ready to peel. So right now the noodle is dry. You know, you see it's really dry because you don't want it wet. Okay, so the next thing after everything's mixed with the carrots, the cilantro, green onion, you pour in the noodle. It's just the noodle in. Egg.
Add a shell.
So you saw that I put one more last egg. The egg is really to hold everything together, so everything won't fall apart. So after you're mixing it, mix the noodle and the meat and everything thoroughly. And you can do this without meat too. If you're a vegetarian, you can just put all vegetables. We're meat eaters, so we like to put a lot of meat. So this is how you mix it.
You can use tofu.
Yeah, you can use tofu. You can put whatever you want in your wrap, but this is just how I make it, and a lot of people have been requesting how I make my egg rolls. You're gonna add in the cabbage. So I'm just gonna scoop the cabbage here and just, again, this is about a whole cabbage. So you want it like medium, small size. So at the end here, you're just kind of like mixing but tossing at the same time because you don't want to break the cabbage. So this is the finishing touch. Just so everything's mixed. So this is how my mixture looks like when I'm done. So it sees really dry, so when you wrap, you know, it won't break the egg roll wrapper. So this is my wrapping, my stuffing for my egg rolls. So after all the mixture, after you finish mixing, you're going to turn on the stove. So this is the pan with all the oils and the corn oil. Turn it on high because by the time you're finished wrapping, the oil should be ready and you just put it in.
Okay.
So the egg roll wrapper is already thawed, so you can tell it's soft now. So you can peel it one by one like this. And then just lay it flat like that. And then just continue peeling. And you can tell like it has sheet. It's sheet by sheet. And then you just peel it. You don't want to rip the wrappers because, you know, when you fry it, it won't be good. You know, like your stuffing will come out. So just peel it real fast. Two in here. So just peel it. That's how. Before I start frying, you want to prepare where you want to sit your egg roll. So I usually, this is a strainer and I have aluminum foil under, or you can put a plate under. I usually set it out like this to drain your egg roll when it's done. Alright, that's ready. Tongs, it's my tongs, get it ready. And as you can tell, the oil is still on hot. It's bubbly. You can hear it bubbly right now. Okay, so I'm grabbing the wrapper, the peel one. Just put it like this, like a diamond towards, kind of like in front of you, so you can wrap it. I'm not going to use gloves because you need it to make it tight, so if you wear gloves, it's not going to work. So I usually just grab, oh, and there's an egg here, to seal the end. So I just use a small portion of it. Just put it like that in front of you. And then you're just going to roll this over. You want to make sure that your egg roll is tight, so when you fry it, it's not oily. So you push back and then just roll. You're going to fold the end. And then you're going to roll, but you're still pushing back, making sure that everything's tight. I'm going to grab my egg, just put it at the corner, and then you're just going to roll it. There's another one. Let's do another one. Just a small amount. You don't need too much. So this is how I test if the oil is ready. I just put one egg roll in, and yep, it's ready. So I'm gonna grab it. I'm just gonna put it in. I put enough oil that you know, everything is frying all, you know, so nothing's showing. So it's all in frying. So you don't have to worry about like really turning it to cook the other side. So while that's frying, I'll just keep wrapping and I'll just put it in. So it's still frying. I'm still wrapping the egg roll. Okay, so I'm just checking. I'm just turning it. Let it. Just kind of turn it. You see how all the egg rolls is under the oil? That's what you want when you fry egg roll. So you don't have to really worry about the other side not fully cooked.
You want more?
So still cooking, frying. How I can tell when it's ready is when it either turns golden brown or when it's actually like floating. You see how these ones are almost cooked? They're floating. And so that's how you can tell. So we'll let it cook for a little bit. I'm gonna continue wrapping while this is cooking, and then come back and check on it. See, you see how it's floating now? So it's cooked, and you can tell it's golden brown now. So what I would do, I don't like to lay it horizontal because the oil is sitting there. I just like to let it sit vertically so the oil can drain down. You let it sit like this, so at the end your egg roll will be so oily. This is the finishing touch of the egg rolls. You can tell it's golden brown. You can see the inside's fully cooked. You can eat it. It's ready to eat. You can eat it by itself. I have sauce on the side. It's a sweet sauce. If you want to dip it. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, okay? Please subscribe and please like my page. Thank you. You have a good day. Bye.